In a quiet coastal bay, where the sea meets the sky, in a soft morning mist, a whimsical wooden house floats gently at dawn. The first light of the sun peeks over the horizon, turning the turquoise water into liquid gold. A lone seagull lands on the house's rusted chimney, a silent witness to the waking day. Inside, morning light dances on the bedroom ceiling, a shimmering reflection from the water below. A young girl, Hannah, yawns and stretches in her bunk bed. Below her, her younger brother, Leo, sleeps soundly, hugging a plush toy whale. Through a round porthole window, the sky is a canvas of brilliant orange. Hannah's bare feet touch the dark, polished wooden floorboards as she pads over to the window. She pushes it open, and the gentle sound of waves fills the room, carrying the scent of salt and sea. On the deck, their dad adjusts the thick ropes that tie their home to the wooden pier. Nearby, their mom waters vibrant flowers spilling out of wooden boxes that line the railing. A single dewdrop on a petal reflects the rising sun like a tiny, perfect crystal. The family gathers on the deck, breathing in the fresh morning air together. Breakfast is served at a simple wooden table, set with blue ceramic bowls and steaming tea. The steam from the teapot swirls in the morning light like a playful spirit. Mom pours fresh, cool milk into a glass for the children. Beneath the floating house, a school of small silver fish gathers in the clear water. Hannah smiles, tossing a few breadcrumbs to her glittering neighbors, watching them dart and flash. The house bobs gently as a small wave passes, a cradle rocked by the ocean itself. Later, the day's rhythm truly begins. Hannah and Leo sit on the edge of the deck, their small bamboo fishing poles in hand. The fishing line creates a silver thread in the crystal clear water, disappearing into the emerald depths. Suddenly, a colorful fish leaps from the water, a flash of rainbow and silver, before splashing back in. On the deck, a wicker basket holds their treasures from previous days, seashells and smooth, wet pebbles. Leo, wearing his goggles, peers intently into the water, his face a mask of concentration. Then, with a joyful shout, he jumps. A large, white splash erupts in the green water. From beneath the surface, the sun's rays pierce through, making the underside of their home look like the belly of a gentle wooden whale. In the distance, green hills and a sandy beach frame their secluded world. Daily life unfolds in simple, beautiful moments. White laundry hangs on a line, flapping like sails in the sea breeze. A small wooden rowing boat, tied to the side of the house, waits patiently for an adventure. Dad, with a large brush in hand, adds a fresh coat of paint to the side of the house. Above them, giant, fluffy white clouds drift slowly across a brilliant blue sky. Soon, it's time to explore. The family climbs into their little boat and rows toward the sandy shore. Once there, the children race along the water's edge, their laughter carried on the wind as they gather unique pieces of driftwood. A small crab scurries for cover behind a piece of green seaweed. Far out on the horizon, a large sailing ship passes by, a silent traveler on a different journey. Looking back from the beach, their floating house seems like a tiny, perfect sanctuary in the vastness of the bay. As the sun reaches its peak, they row back home. Hannah and Leo lie on the warm deck, tired and happy, watching the clouds drift by, imagining them as floating ships and fantastic beasts. As the afternoon deepens, the air grows thick with the hum of cicadas from the mainland. A glass of cold barley tea sits on the deck, condensation dripping down its side. Hannah sits peacefully, sketching the view of the bay in her weathered notebook. A wooden wind chime tinkles a soft, glassy melody in the light breeze. Inside, Mom and Dad found themselves enjoying the quiet moment. A majestic sea turtle swims slowly past the house, its ancient eyes seemingly acknowledging their peaceful existence. Then, a change begins. The bright blue sky slowly softens into a hazy gray. Darker clouds gather over the distant mountains. The wind picks up, making the house sway a little more. A single, large raindrop hits the sea surface, creating a perfect, expanding circle. The rich, earthy scent of rain on the warm wooden deck fills the air. It is a sudden rush of activity as the family hurries to bring the laundry and cushions inside. They close the heavy wooden shutters just as the rain begins to fall in earnest. The room becomes dim and cool. An oil lamp is lit, casting a warm, amber glow that pushes back the growing shadows. Rain streaks race down the round glass of the porthole window. Cozy and safe inside, Hannah and Leo play a game of cards on the tatami mat. The family cat, unbothered by the storm, is curled up in a perfect circle, sleeping soundly. The rhythmic drumming of rain on the wooden roof becomes a comforting lullaby. In the middle of the storm, their home looks like a single, glowing lantern adrift in a world of blue-gray rain. As evening settles in, the heart of the home, the kitchen, comes alive. Mom ties on her apron, ready to cook dinner. She washes fresh green onions in a small ceramic sink, their bright color a contrast to the dim light. The steady tap-tap of her knife on a heavy wooden cutting board echoes through the small space. A pot of water begins to bubble on the stove, and soon a thick cloud of steam fogs the window as she drops handmade noodles into the boiling water. She carefully adds a soft-boiled egg and a sheet of nori to each bowl. The kitchen is an intimate, warm-lit world of its own. Dad and the kids set the wooden table with chopsticks. For steaming, bowls of ramen are arranged, a feast for the eyes and the soul. The family sits down together, hands clapped in a quiet moment of gratitude. Hannah takes a long, happy slurp of the hot noodles, steam warming her face. Laughter fills the room as they share stories from their day, their cozy, golden interior a stark contrast to the blue, rainy world outside. The steam from their bowls creates fleeting patterns on the glass window. Afterwards, they wash the dishes together, soapy bubbles catching the lamplight. A small pot of honey tea is prepared, a sweet evening ritual. The family huddles together on the sofa, listening as the sound of the rain slowly fades away. The house settles into a quiet, rhythmic bobbing, at peace once more. The storm passes. Outside, the clouds part to reveal a brilliant silver moon. Its light creates a shimmering, magical path across the dark, still ocean. The family steps back out onto the wet deck, breathing in the clean, post-rain air. And then, something incredible happens. There were water all around the halves the Bioluminescent. Hannah reaches down, her hand touching the glowing water, and a shower of blue sparkles erupts around her fingers. As if summoned by the magic, fireflies drift over from the coast, their blinking lights mingling with the glowing sea. Above, the Milky Way galaxy stretches across the deep, indigo sky, a river of countless stars. It's time for bed. Mum tucks the children into their warm beds, pulling a thick quilt over Leo's shoulders. The cat finds its favorite spot at the foot of the bed. Dad sits on the deck for a while longer, watching the stars in silent wonder. Back in the kitchen, the small lantern flickers one last time and goes out. The moon's reflection shines in the house's porthole window like a watchful eye. A deep, peaceful silence settles over the bay, broken only by the slow, rhythmic breathing of the sleeping family. In the vast, dark bay, the floating house is just a tiny spark of light. A small, warm heart beating in the quiet of the night. A shooting star streaks across the sky, a final touch of magic on a perfect day, a day on the water. Thanks for watching.